Well, I definitely do believe in the supernatural for sure. Definitely. It's something that scares me in life. I don't know, it's just an eerie feeling of not knowing what's there when you're just standing. I don't know, just even at night time, just the dark and just not knowing. That's what scares me a lot. But nothing's actually happened to me. But I have a huge belief in it, a really big belief. But yeah, nothing's really happened. But my sister, she has her own stories and how she thinks that there's something in our spare room and she freaks out. So that kind of, maybe that's why I believe it a little bit so much, because she's had her experiences and I try and brush it off just because I don't want to be scared in my own house. But yeah, you know, nothing's happened to me, but for sure, I definitely believe in it. Yeah, sure. It's scary.
I really, really, really would like to believe in the supernatural. I think it's cool. I'm a horror film fan, you know. I like horror TV shows and stuff like that, but I'm a bit too science-minded, so my brain can't quite concept the whole, like, ghost thing.
Yeah.
Can't say I've had any weird experiences on this set, even though I've tried. I've sat in rooms and asked for things to come and it just hasn't. So no, unfortunately not.
I totally believe in the supernatural because I have a really massive imagination. In terms of experiences, I think it's just all in my head. Like I used to live in this flat by myself and it was the scariest thing ever. Like as soon as the lights turned off, like ghosts were everywhere in my mind. So I don't think I've actually had a real ghost experience, just imagination.
There's been a few. One time I woke up with someone standing over me and I went, oh, shitballs. And then when I opened my eyes, they were gone. It was this really creepy moment, but I felt this weird sense of calm.
Dan, why were you doing that?
It was Dan, actually. I wake up often with him standing over me. I have questions. I believe in it, but I don't necessarily welcome it.
Yeah.
Because I think once you open that gate, you can't quite close it.
I personally actually am a believer. There's just been a few things as well in my life that could be coincidence. But yeah, I actually think there is. I mean, this world is so amazing as it is. Like, why not?
Have you ever been to a haunted location?
Oh my god, yeah, I think I have. Just funny that you bring that up, because the other night I went to my boyfriend's parents' place and I swear to god I came out of the bathroom and I heard a whistle, like this, and I thought my boyfriend was standing right there in front of me and it was dark because, you know, I'm at 3 a.m. weird, and I was like waiting for him to pass me because I thought he was going to go to the bathroom, and I was like, and nothing passed me, and then I was like, what? And then I went into the bathroom and he was there and I was like, did you just whistle? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh my god, I swear like somebody just whistled like in front of me. It was really, really, really creepy, and we both stayed up hugging like, oh my god, the place is haunted. Besides that, no, this place is kind of spooky. I feel like this has definitely seen some things.
I do believe in the supernatural, as much as I want to sort of dismiss it as with my natural cynicism. But no, there have been a couple of things in my life that I legitimately can't explain. And even just on this set, oddly enough, with the EVP EMF detector, we came in one day and somehow the aerial has been completely snapped off of it. It was left on a table overnight, perfectly fine. Next morning I come in, completely different spot, aerial snapped off, not just sort of bent, I mean snapped off entirely. And no one was here during that entire time. So just this set specifically, I've had that. My own personal experience is, the only way I can describe it, it's essentially just a single light globe, no lampshade, nothing like that, just a light globe coming down from the roof. And I was having a talk with some friends at my friend's place. That was interesting just then, that we had a battery drain whilst I'm talking about my experiences with spiritual things. That's interesting, that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of my own personal experiences, like I've definitely seen things I can't explain. Probably the one that stands out for me the most was I was at my friend Beth's place, just hanging out, having a chat, and the only way I can describe it is that there's a light globe. Just no actual lampshade, nothing like that, just the light globe itself sticking out of the roof. And I'm sitting here, I think Charmaine's sitting there and Beth's sitting over there in an armchair. The only way I can describe it is that you saw the line of a shadow go across the room. So it's like someone's put their hand over the light globe.
Yeah.
And it literally was just bang! Out of nowhere, the blinds drop straight down, just as Beth has sat forward and lands straight across the arms of the armchair. Just literally, there is no way it could have just possibly fallen. Essentially, it's almost bolted into the freaking window frame.
Yeah.
And timing was incredible, because if she had sat forward a split second later, it would have come straight down on her head. And yeah, just as incredible as that was, the light is what sticks out for me.
Yeah.
There is no way I can explain what happened with the light. It literally was just a light globe sticking out of the ceiling, and it was as if someone had put their hand over it. Just. So yeah, that thing I literally can't explain. So it definitely opened me up to the possibility of things, of going, well, I may feel a bit silly, but if I'm wrong, it just means that I've been overly cautious and tried to protect myself, really. And if I'm right, then booyah.
You know what? There's been a couple of times in my life where I have thought that I have seen something or been overpowered by something, but I do still, even though I haven't really convinced myself that I have, I still believe that there is some supernatural, ghost-like element.
Yeah, I try not to believe, but I scare myself easy just in the dark, let alone being somewhere where people are like, yes, people have died in here and done scary shit. So
Hospitals are good
not
ones.
fun, yeah. My only close encounter was when we were on the quarantine walk, and it was like, quarantine, thing, a couple of years back, and it was all a big hoax, because they sort of had everybody come into this little room, and we gathered around this kitchen bench thingy, and then like underneath the bench starts shaking, and the thing hole starts shaking, and everybody's going, oh my god, it's starting to freak out. And then you get out, and there's someone else comes out really late afterwards, and you're like, who the fuck was that? They weren't on this thing. And then it's like, I wasn't hiding under the table. And you're like, oh, wow, that's interesting. So that's about as close as I've come.
It's the real.
So real. Yes.
Do I believe in supernatural? You know what? Yeah, I do, because who the hell am I to say what the hell's going on in this world? I can barely take care of myself, let alone understand the whole entire world. So yeah, I'm sure it's out there, medium and all that. And I have had a couple of big, one big one was the supernatural experience was when I used to train in swimming at the Sydney Aquatic Centre, very big famous pool. It went right down to the bottom, and there were tiny little windows. And we'd always go down and sort of have a look around, and one day there was a handprint on the wall. No one used to go down there, so how did the handprint turn up there? So yeah, that was a bit creepy, but other than that, you know, my whole life is avoiding supernatural stuff. Spiders are supernatural to me. I mean, things with that many eyes should not be part of this world, frankly.
And those noises that you hear outside your bedroom, just ignore them?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got a bathroom outside, so my whole every evening is running in trying not to get killed by the supernatural ghost after me.
Do you have any phobias at all?
You know what? No, I don't. I wish I did. I went skydiving and I was like, you know, I wish, and now I can catch spiders because I've lost that fear, so I'm sure I'll find it one day in some horrific way. Find out what my phobia is. We'll see. Stay tuned.
As for me, do I believe in the supernatural?
Yes, do you?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Well, I shall. You have invited me to speak more upon this wonderful occasion, so I shall be more verbose.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is going to be cut down, so half of this is just going to be chop. Anyway, but anyway. But do I believe in the supernatural? Yes, there is more to life that we can see than what's around us.
Amen.
Have I had any experiences I can't quite explain? Yes. Many a times, including stuff on this location that we've been on.
Oh, yeah, stories.
There's been a few things that have happened.
Yeah, I do believe in a supernatural world, and I do believe that there are entities that we cannot yet understand or explain. And for this production, there has been quite a lot of strange things happening. For one example, we've had batteries on cameras and audio equipment and torches that have gone from 100% battery to then just going to 40 or 0. We've had some interesting things going on in the location, like things going missing for large points of time and then reappearing out of nowhere. We've had on this particular shoot, we've had some interesting things happen, and people have seen shadows and seen things, but some people might say, are skeptics and say, oh, that's just, you know, your eyes playing tricks. But for me, I've definitely seen a few things, and we'll be talking about those many things for many years to come.
Do you have a particular belief in the supernatural, and have you had anything happen to you that you believe is the supernatural, or you just can't quite explain?
Can't quite explain why I decided to do a film in 14 days, but we can't say that.
Well, that's a supernatural experience as it is, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't explain that at all. I don't know if I believe or not, to be honest. You know, I have a belief in a higher power, so conceivably I could believe in ghosts too, but I don't actually know. Have I had a supernatural experience? Again, I'm not sure, because the brain can play tricks. I mean, you know, if the battery suddenly died on this camera and got me out of the interview early, that would be a supernatural experience. But I don't think I'm going to get away with it.
Well, we're still sitting at 100%, so I'm afraid to say, no.
No joy. So yeah, I think that sums me up.